By the power of Neverland. Okay, we're going to take a look at Disney Universe from Infinite Fan 1927 this week. This has been entered into the side-scrolling challenge, and so I wanted to try out some of the entrants that when they go through and enter at hashtag side-scroll challenge, then they get to be a part of it. Now, I'm using Donald Duck. My sidekick is Donald Duck. My two favorite packs to use, of course, are the Buzz Lightyear gun and the lightsaber. Now, Disney Universe, he promises, 3 different areas to play in, one based on Inside Out, a Star Wars Force Awakens, and a Captain America Civil War play area, which as you can see, I'm reading about right now. And they're all side-scrolling type of things. There's collecting orbs on one of them, with the other thing, but a lot of battle mode stuff. Now, I only spent 10 minutes in this, and I really didn't get to do a whole lot, but I was really interested to check out what they did for the Force Awakens. I do like what they did here with the kind of main hub of this. Alright, so I've entered into the Star Wars area. Appears to be a exit to get out, but of course I ran right to the side-scrolling Star Wars Force Awakens, recommended for 1 to 2 players, which took me into a pretty nice little setup out here. It looks like they spent a lot of time creating a background with various objects probably unlocked from the Force Awakens and many of the other Star Wars. But as I get started here, okay, a few enemies start popping up, and it doesn't take me too long before actually I'd sustained quite a bit of damage. It's kind of definitely, I think, designed for online play or playing with a friend because of the amount of enemies. As you can see, me and a sidekick really are kind of outmatched, and very quickly I've been dispatched at least one time. But, it was kind of fun. I do like to engage in some battle, and the side-scrolling is working really rather well. One thing, though, I noticed while playing this, there is a count going on up above. Now, at any point, I don't recall being let know what I might be counting up to, if there's a goal of how many enemies I need to defeat before I get a chance to advance in the game. Because basically, I did notice that everybody's purple teamed. I had wondered about that, but you will see later I did find why he did purple team, because there is a little bit of variety in the enemies that they generated, but really doesn't get any more than this. Mostly it was sand people. I recognized some other type of characters that were, I believe, from The Force Awakens, what they don't have. I've seen some toys with that type of design, but as I played along, really it was all the same thing. It really didn't change. I'd go along, I'd fight a bunch of them, fight a bunch, and then something would pop up and say, move along, going a little bit further to the side, another huge amount of enemies. Playing with this for 10 minutes, I really didn't get any further than that. It was just combat. And not really a variety of enemies or a variety of gameplay, and I think maybe they could have done a little bit more with it. I mean, this is a good way, really, to level up your character, because you can go in to keep defeating enemies and grabbing all these sparks. As you can see, my sidekick is also getting trounced pretty badly. But after a while, it gets kind of old. You need a little bit more, maybe a puzzle or something. But I just felt like I was fighting the same enemies over and over and over again. Which, it can be fun, but really, I think needed a little bit more in order to really be competitive of what's probably going to happen with these side-scrolling games. So overall, I can't say that this is probably going to be one of the top contenders, but it is fun for just to bash them up, and I think if you did bring in with some friends, you'd have a lot more fun and find a little bit more interesting gameplay than this. When I did try to exit out of this, I ended the challenge and found that the only thing had changed is that I was no longer stuck in the side-scrolling view, and I was still running around fighting this endless supply of enemies that were all the same thing. So yeah, download this, give it a shot, see what you think. Let me know either in the comments or send an email to podcast@neverlandpodcast.com. And don't forget to check our regular show at neverlandpodcast.com on iTunes and on Stitcher. Thanks for viewing.